authored a book called My Name is Ravana. Sankuratri ji, welcome to this special telecast on NewsX. Can you please tell us a bit about first your book, My Name is Ravana?
My name is Ravana. It is a long journey. I first started writing. I wrote this book in the year 2014, but I wrote this after a lot of worry, a lot of the mind struggle, all this stuff. The concept is this. So Sri Lanka today is having more than 50 sites marked having connection to epic Ramayana. And these 50 sites are being identified by the government of Sri Lanka. And beyond these, there are local legends where people also say, this is also connected to Sri Lanka, this is also connected to Ramayana, this is also connected to Ramayana. But there are around 50 sites which are marked by the government itself, having connection to epic Ramayana. Now, when if it is promoted, it is advantage for the Sri Lanka itself. But when the question is why is not going in the pace it is supposed to go, the question is like, promoting Ramayana in any part of the world is different than promoting Ramayana in Sri Lanka. Because they don't hate Rama, but they also admire Ravana. That is the catch. So the Indians generally think that the Sri Lankans will pray to Ravana, there are temples to Ravana there. No, it's not. But it is like if you say that there is a hero worship and God worship. Ravana is more like a hero worship there in Lanka. Like how superstars in India like Rajnikant or Chiranjeevi is being taken deep into their heart of the fans. Like that, these people take Ravana deep into their hearts. And they strongly believe that they are the descendants of King Ravana. So when they're promoting Ramayana, so the struggle what they face is at some point or the other, they need to talk negative about Ravana in front of the tourists. So that is something which is pulling them back.
Very interesting. So, fascinating. So how did your book tackle this?
Yes. So see, basically, if you see, there are a lot of Ramayanas. Now we take a little bit of combination of both Valmiki Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas. So what I did was, I picked up the line, this Jaya and Vijaya. So when the book starts saying where Ravana himself will be narrating Ramayana, and he starts boasting about himself, and then says, guys, do you know that I myself am the biggest devotee of Sri Rama himself. My original name is Jaya, and my brother's name is Vijaya. We both came out of the earth on the instructions of Sri Mahavishnu to teach you, the mankind, what is good and what is bad. And then on, he starts telling the story, was what all happened, where Ravana will be telling the story. That balanced the versions.
Interesting.
So that now I did not, now Sri Lanka starts feeling that I did not talk bad about my guy. I still maintain.
Okay, it's interesting because obviously many of us have the distilled version, simplified version. Obviously it's a very complex history, as you, of course, people who've read the Ramayana will know that Ravan begins life as a bhakt. He is one of the saintly people, of course, and he is awarded his powers by the gods.
Yes.
And then what happens with those powers and the misuse of them then becomes the story of the good and the evil. And
yes,
it is actually telling you a story of the complexity of the grey lines, of what can happen, what can go wrong, how power should actually be used, how the blessings that you have received can be used or misused, how people can change, how their deeds can define them from one year to the next as they go on through the progress of life. It's a very complex and a very subtle story, and of course, which is why it's an epic. But of course, we get the simplified version and understand it. But it's a fascinating context. It is a fascinating concept. So now, how did you end up where you are, sir, in Sri Lanka?
Now where we are? So now this year, 2023 January, the Minister of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, who is the head of Religious Affairs of Buddhism also, he is invited to India as the chief guest of World Ramayana Conference. in Jabalpur.
Excellent. We interviewed him just a couple of days ago. So now let me ask you specifically now, because I began with the context, right? Honestly, I have a very poor understanding of how the Ramayana is perceived, even though Lanka, by the very definition, is part of the Ramayana. I had a no knowledge understanding of how it is perceived in Bali, or how it is performed and interpreted in Cambodia, or in Vietnam, or in Laos, or in Indonesia. But it is. So how do we, in a project, which was, I'm assuming, what the Global Ramayana Encyclopedia was trying to do, first you tell us what the aim was, and then we'll discuss quickly how to revive it.
Can you repeat the last statement, please?
What was the aim of the Global Ramayana project, sir?
What is the aim? Okay. So, on a broader angle, there are two objectives. There are categories again, but on a broader level, there are two objectives. The first objective is to bring anything and everything related to Rama get documented. Be it the scientific evidences, logical evidences, cultural art forms, practices, temple histories, local legends, anything related to Ramayana to be documented at some place. That is the first objective. Get the books published, etc. And the second objective is, today Ramayana's presence is in over 100 countries globally. Of course, dominatingly in South Asia and Southeast Asia. So now, on the lines of Ramayana, build the soft diplomacy and bring these nations together is the second objective.
Okay. What is required, sir, for the revival of this project?
The first thing is we need to, we initiated with all the private parties who are interested, like Michael from USA, Balram Singh ji, Rameshwar ji, etc. from different parts of the world. So now the next step is we need to slowly get to a level where we involve the governments also into this, those respective governments. Mm-hmm. So to some level, Sri Lanka part was very successful. We are able to make the respective government authorities to involve in some way or the other. Probably in this year or the next year, like how we are celebrating Ramayana festival, Sri Lanka may also start Rama Ravana festival shortly.
Interesting, absolutely fascinating, and just understanding the subtleties of it itself would be fascinating, and that's why it's a fascinating journey. I mean, you're looking at your screens from Portugal to Cambodia. A fascinating journey. Thank you, sir, for the work that you're doing. It's and whatever we can do to facilitate it out of just sheer interest and fascination, I think it deserves a great recognition and whatever support that is available from all quarters. That was Mr. Bala Sankuratri, who is not only an author but convener who's trying to revive this project for the Global Encyclopedia for the Ramayana.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.